Welcome to KpopDConan channel. First, thanks a lot for 100 subs. It means a lot to me. I decided in honor of reaching this number to make a video to wrap up all SM's history. Kind of. Their history is literally longer than the years I have lived, and it needs more than one video. In today's video, we will answer on this question. Why does everyone hate SM? Let's investigate this case. 1. Dealing with controversies. How SM responds to controversies, or doesn't actually, is a big reason for the hate. What happens most of the time is SM being slow to act that fans are the ones to defend, protect, investigate, and prove their idol's innocent. Now you are probably thinking of Sunghan's situation and the Rise boycott, right? Let me introduce you to some other, probably even worse, examples. Let's start with EXO's Chanyeol's controversy that almost ended his career if it wasn't for EXO's who investigated and proved his innocence, and yes, EXO's, not SM. In October 2020, anonymous person claiming to be Chanyeol's ex-girlfriend posted on a Korean online community. She said that Chanyeol had cheated on her with more than 10 women, including flight attendants and trainees, over their 3-year relationship. The post included a supposed photo of the woman with Chanyeol, which quickly went viral. However, and despite the claims making a serious damage to Chanyeol's reputation, SM Entertainment's response was notably weak. Instead of directly addressing the claims, the company released a short statement. That's when EXO stepped in. They examined the alleged photos and discovered details suggesting it was manipulated. For example, image quality analysis suggested the photo was edited, and angles in the supposed couple picture did not match Chanyeol's known proportions. Additionally, fans highlighted contradictions in the timeline. Schedules from EXO's concerts, promotional activities did not align with the accuser's narrative of a 3-year secret relationship. Some EXOs uncovered that several details in the anonymous post were fabricated or lifted from unrelated rumors. After this mess, the account of the girl was deleted, probably as the girl feared the legal actions that could be taken against her. Another similar one was aespa Karina's apology for dating Lee Jae-wook. In February 2024, it was announced that Karina of aespa and actor Lee Jae-wook were dating. Obviously, K-pop fans began unstanding aespa, burning and tearing Karina's photo cards, making SM force Karina on 2 things. First, she broke up with her boyfriend. Second, she released an apology. Typical SM. And when she apologized, Korean fans called her a national embarrassment, and did SM try to protect her?
Well. Absolutely not!
Clue, silence. 2. Mistreatment. Among the most criticized companies for mistreatment of its idols is SM Entertainment. Accusations of mistreatment have ranged from restrictive contracts and unfair profit distribution to blacklisting and lack of mental and physical health support. One of the most famous cases of alleged mistreatment occurred in 2009 when 3 members of TVXQ, later known as JYJ, filed a lawsuit against SM Entertainment. Jaejung, Junsu, and Yuchan argued that their 13 years slave contracts were long and unfair. They also complained about the control over their careers and income. This legal battle lasted several years, and as a response to them, SM allegedly attempted to block activities and filed lawsuits, including injunctions to prevent the group from releasing albums and performing. After that, the JYJ law was made, which prohibits broadcasters from unfairly blocking artists from appearing on their programs without a valid reason. A few years later, similar concerns resurfaced with EXO. Between 2014 and 2015, the 3 Chinese members, Chris, Luhan, and Tao, left the group after filing lawsuits against the company. Their lawsuits included unfair working conditions due to being Chinese, lack of freedom to pursue activities in China, and health issues allegedly ignored by management. However, while Chris and Luhan reached a settlement with SM, Tao lost his lawsuit. Among NCT members, Taeyong has become the biggest example for health mismanagement. Many K-pop fans are convinced that SM has failed in protecting him, and this belief is rooted in repeated instances of visible health struggles and hectic schedules. Taeyong's long-standing back issues have been always a concern for NCT fans. Since his debut, Taeyong has suffered from chronic herniated disc pain, a condition that requires careful management and rest. Despite this, known to be one of the most famous members, he has been consistently scheduled for intense dance performances, world tours, and appearances, often without enough recovery time. Videos of Taeyong struggling with his back pain have circulated widely among fans, fueling the narrative that SM prioritizes profit and promotions over his health. And despite the major problem being his back pain, from time to time he would show other types of pain like his neck and legs. And to make it worse, here are examples of Taeyong's schedules. Man almost didn't take any breaks in his career. One of the most things that anger K-pop fans of SM is definitely the way they neglect the seniors for the juniors. When a new group debuts, SM tends to make its resources, media appearances, and marketing budget all go into the fresh act. This not only frustrates the fans of senior artists, but also undermines the sense of loyalty between the company and the idols who dedicated years of their youth to making SM a household name. making it the main reason why many of SM idols criticize their company publicly like Tion or sign new contracts with other agencies like EXO's CBX, Taemin, and recently Red Velvet's Wendy and Yeri. And as examples of this, the most two groups who are always mentioned are definitely EXO and Red Velvet. If you are new to K-pop, let me tell you that during EXO's prime years, they were always in comparison with BTS. At that time, EXO and BTS were both at their peak and EXOs and ARMYs were like Blinks and ARMYs now. There were always videos to compare their vocals, rap, and dance skills. However, after EXO stayed for a while being the biggest and most popular group, SM neglected them to focus on NCT, the new group. And with EXO members going to the military and Chen's marriage, things went downhill. Even when EXO had comebacks, the only Chinese member Lay didn't participate and the promotions weren't even on SM's dictionary. By the way, and finally, there is an EXO comeback in December, but there are still doubts about the participated members, so let's see what happens. For Red Velvet, they faced similar treatment to EXO. Red Velvet were always compared to Twice and Blackpink with their hit songs like Peekaboo, Russian Roulette, and Bad Boy. But right at their peak, aespa debuted, with their Kwangya concept that was interesting and unique to many K-pop fans. Red Velvet's fans accused SM of lowering songs and music videos quality. And what made the situation worse was Red Velvet's comeback with Cosmic in 2024. Remember this photo of Joy? No one could ever guess it's her from the first glance. Also, all the concept photos were criticized for using AI in them, which is such a shame coming from a big company like SM and under the name of Red Velvet. Joy expressed her frustration on Bubble. She said that despite this comeback marks the 10th anniversary, SM didn't listen to any of the members' opinions and didn't inform them early enough about the comeback time, basically hinting the comeback was being rushed. Clue, limit. 3. Plastic surgeries. The SM cloning factory in the basement theory. It's understandable why this theory is made if you look at Got the Beat. This is a group made of Boa, Tion, Hyoyeon, Solji, Wendy, Karina, and Winter. You can see that many members look alike. Or you can look at these photos of Tion, Irene, Karina, and Winter. It's the idea that SM chooses certain visuals, and if they need changes, they will definitely change them. Some idols' features look really different and people accuse SM of forcing most, if not all of its idols to get plastic surgery even if they didn't want to or are too young for it. The most recent example is Trainee A JJ. Trainee A was a group under Hype, but didn't debut then a member called JJ, now goes by Justin, joined SM. He is a Japanese-American, born January 27, 2006. Justin was loved for his Western features and soft visual, but in 2025, during SM Town Live in Los Angeles and via photos, fans noticed changes in JJ's face having a different nose bridge shape, a modified chin, and general changes in facial structure. Many fans felt the changes were unnecessary, that SM was imposing certain beauty standards, or pressuring him and of course other idols toward plastic surgery. Clue, unnecessary. 4. Theories. We have two theories. One is popular and believed by many, while the other is dark and unpopular. And here I have to give a warning. I'll discuss the popular theory first, and then the dark one. If you have problems with topics such as self-harm and death, skip to the next chapter, please. And by the way, both theories are unconfirmed. The first theory is what I call the Blackpink phobia. It's the idea that SM fears that their artists grow to have the same popularity as Blackpink or BTS, just like EXO before. They fear their artists becoming more successful and bigger than them, so they would leave the company later while they beg them not to. I know this is so toxic and disgusting, but let me tell you it didn't come out of nowhere. This theory comes back to the spotlight from time to another. This time it came after aespa's comeback with Dirty Work and Rich Man, with many fans complaining about the music quality. As evidence, SM has been criticized by artists or lawsuits made for long contracts, and lack of transparency in earnings like JYJ's example we discussed. People interpret this as SM wanting to retain control for a long period. Also, SM is known for not allowing idols to participate fully in songwriting, concept design, or choosing musical direction. This can be seen as a way to keep the artist more managed and controlled, which we also discussed in Joy's example earlier. And finally, the way SM groups disappear or drop in music quality like FX, EXO, Red Velvet, and now aespa. Allegedly, SM does this to focus on its newest groups, which in this case is Hearts to Hearts. Now for the dark theory, which is about Julian and JM Leung. Before we start, everything here is alleged. Nothing is confirmed. According to the theory, Julian and Jay are brothers who joined SM in 2007. Julian, the older brother, was born February 11, 1987, while Jay was born September 28, 1990. Jay joining SM has less to no evidence, so we will talk about Julian. When Julian was a trainee, people online were comparing him with Henry, and if you don't know Henry, he was a Super Junior member before going solo. It was revealed that both passed the auditions in Toronto, and many were either surprised or happy for Julian. Unfortunately, on July 6, 2010, both brothers passed away in mysterious circumstances. No one knew how, except for this post I found. A few years later, in March 2022, Amber from FX released a song called Lately and posted this on her Instagram. The last words say, "Love you, Jay." Some comments expected this is for Jong Hyun, and some said it's actually Julian, as it was known Julian and Amber were close friends. The lyrics of the songs made it more complicated for people to decide. Anyways, I have more information about this theory, but it's so hard to talk about such topic, so I tried to wrap it up as it comes to the spotlight from time to time. By the way, if you search on the internet, the information is little almost non-existent, which some suggest it's also because of SM, saying they just don't want some dirty past to come out, but I hope they erase these things to protect the boys. Clue, unconfirmed. 5. Why does everyone hate SM? By connecting the 4 clues in our video, silence, limit, unnecessary, unconfirmed, we can answer the question. SM has been famous for its silence when its own idols are involved in big and serious controversies, and for limiting their idols whether in their job or in personal life. They also go for unrealistic beauty standards, which results in unnecessary plastic surgeries, far from their unconfirmed theories that rely on little yet powerful evidence, making the hate towards them harsher. K-pop fans keep pointing to repeated mistreatment of idols, whether through overwork, poor support, or unfair contracts. When scandals arise, SM often chooses silence or mishandles the situation, leaving fans frustrated. At some point, SM was called the laziest company because of not handling serious controversies well, like Chanyeol's. This kind of treatment makes fans believe that SM views idols less as artists and more as dolls or tools. Once these toys are old and there are new ones, they drift attention immediately. And since SM is from the biggest companies and the oldest as well, they always get away with what they do, and trainees still come to the company just for its big name. Anyways, the company is losing big names, which can hopefully be a warning sign for them to change their rules and views. Now I can say case closed. See you in another video.